Okay, this is on page 5 of the AB class packet. And I just went over how to solve. Again, solving meaning if you graph the parabola, finding out where it touches the x-axis without having to actually graph it. And we learned how to do that with factoring. So I'm just going to do another example here just to kind of review again with that. And the first step is always make sure it's equal to 0, which in this case is done for us, so that's done. And then we go into product and sum. The product is your first number times your last. 2 times 8 is 16. And the sum is the number in the middle, which is -8. So now we got to find two numbers that multiply to 16 but add to -8. So that would be -4 and -4, because this would multiply to a positive 16 and this would add to a -8. So there's my pair. Now I can't do the shortcut because the first number is not 1. So I'm going to have to go through the long process of factoring, which means I'm going to replace the middle number with these two. So I have 2x squared. Now I have -4x, -4x instead of that middle term, plus 8, and it still equals 0. So now I'm going to group them and do the greatest common factor of each group. So the biggest number that can go in the 2 and 4 is 2. They both have an x, so I bring down the smaller one. Now just to review, to figure out what goes inside the parentheses, you divide. 2 divided by 2 is 1. I have 2 x's here. I took one out. I would have 1 left over. -4 divided by 2 is -2, and these x's would cancel each other out. In my second group, the biggest number that can go in the 4 and 8 is 4. It has to be negative because my first number in my group is negative, and I don't bring down an x because they both don't have one. So I divide. -4 divided by -4 is positive 1x, and 8 divided by -4 is -2, and this still equals 0. I know I did it right because my two parentheses match, so there's one of my answers, x minus 2. The other one are your numbers you brought out in front, so 2x and -4. And again, that still equals 0. So now, I'm not finished though, because I actually have to find out what the x-intercepts are. I take each group and set it equal to 0 separately, and I solve each one. So my first group, to get x by itself, I would add 2 on both sides. So x equals positive 2. There's one of my x-intercepts, so that's one of the spots where my parabola touches the x-axis. The other one, I would have to add 4, but I wouldn't be done after I add 4. I'd have to then go ahead and divide each side by 2. So that would give me x equals 2. Well, we have the same answer here. That's fine. You can write it twice. You can write it once. So what that means is the parabola, sorry, my cat's in the way again. What that means is the parabola, it's going blurry. Hold on. Focus. What that means is the parabola only touches the x-axis in one spot. So the parabola only touches the x-axis at x positive 2.